8:30, but Cinnamon is finally having her babies. I just walked out here to feed Cookie and noticed that she was pushing, and she has a bag out. I don't think the bag was out when I first walked out here. She was standing up, and so I don't think it was really out yet. But we'll watch, and if it looks like, if she doesn't have a baby here in like 15-20 minutes, we'll go in. But I'm assuming this is her first time around, so, or not her first time around, so she should be okay as long as babies are positioned right. But right now, this is what we're seeing, so I'm just gonna pause the video and then we'll come back and then I will start recording again. Once there's something else to see, there's probably something in that sack, like a head, like hopefully like the head or something is starting to come out in that sack. I'll give it just a minute and see if she's gonna push anything else out, because she's pushing really hard. Okay, I'm back. It's only been like not even a full minute since I stopped the last recording, but she's pushing a little bit more, and she definitely has, I do believe that would be a nose. That is, I can't really get a good look at it, but I do believe that's a nose or a hoof inside the sack trying to come out. I can't really tell, but it looks like it's gonna be like the first baby's coming out pretty quick. Yep, that's the head. It's got the head out. Baby looks like its mouth's moving. It would still be attached to the placenta inside her right now, so it should be okay inside the sac for a few minutes. Again, I won't go over there and actually interfere with anything unless I feel like there's going to be a problem. But it looks like she knows what she's doing. I'm pretty sure she's like licking, cleaning up the head area, getting the baby so the baby can breathe. Baby's nose has its nose out, so she's probably breaking the sac and cleaning around the nose. I think legs were supposed to come out first, but our legs and feet were supposed to come out together, but I can't really tell. I mean, the baby's coming out, so yep, here comes the rest of the baby. There it is. There's the baby. I'm gonna kind of scooch in here and just kind of help the nose and the head get clear. Yeah. Pull the sac away from the baby's face. And the baby is moving and alive. So now I'm gonna back up. I got the sac away from the baby's face. So I'm gonna back up. Let Mama do her thing. Let her Mama work on baby. I don't want to interfere with the bonding process or anything. Just, she needed a few minutes, and while she took a few minutes, I just thought I would clear the sac away from baby's face so baby could get a breath. But there's the first baby out. This is the first birth I've got to see, so, because all of the other babies had already been born by the time we got out here to see them. I'm going to assume there will be at least one more baby. I'm going to pause again and we'll come back in a few minutes as baby is, as she's cleaning up, and when she gets ready to have the next one, she hasn't passed, like broke the cord or anything yet, so we'll come back. So I got a cookie in my arms, getting warmed up. She's kind of cold, kind of got cold last night, and she's a little chilly. But Mama has stood up, broke the cord, and is now cleaning baby one. I'll bump her here in a little bit, but I think there'll probably be at least one more baby in there. Sorry, it's adjusting my jacket. Anyway, she's up cleaning baby one. Baby one is definitely alive and up and breathing, so all good signs. Looks like she's a good mama talking to baby. Hopefully she'll be able to get this one pretty well cleaned up before the next one's born. I think with the other ones, when we found them, they hadn't had time to get baby one completely cleaned up yet by the time baby two came, and it made it difficult for them to work on baby two. And it's slightly chilly this morning. It's like 50 something degrees, but there's some wind, so if she's not cleaning baby two when it comes pretty quickly, then I'll probably clean it for her. She'll get a towel and clean it, but we'll see how it goes. Baby's trying to stand already. They stand very fast because they would need to be able to stand quickly in the wild to be able to move with the rest of the herd if they had to get away from predators. Although they're seriously clumsy when they're babies. They really wouldn't get away from predators. I will come back as we progress a little further. So I went ahead and took Cookie in because she's really cold. And she didn't want to have her bottle this morning because I think she's too cold. So I wanted to go put her on the heating pad so she could warm up. They have to be at like 102 and 103 degrees. Otherwise, they don't want to eat. And with her still being as small as she is, having a lot of body fat, it's hard for her to regulate her temperature still. And it did get a little cold last night. So I took her inside and went ahead and got some towels in case I need to help clean up the next baby. We should be having another baby. It's been about, I don't know, about 10 minutes. So we should start seeing signs of another baby probably in about another 10 minutes. I haven't bumped her yet. If I don't have a baby in another 10 minutes, I'll go bump her and see if I feel any more, but she's got to have at least one more in there. She's way fat still. And the other mamas are all pretty fat, but I mean, she's like still pregnant fat, so I would kind of think some of the other ones still get pregnant, but she looks really pregnant, and I'm certain there's got to be at least one more baby. So we'll give it about another 10 minutes. This baby's working on standing. Oh, maybe we'll get to see it stand. Probably not quite yet. I mean, it's just only about 10 minutes old, so it's got its back feet up trying to get its back feet up underneath them. I don't know yet if it's a buckling or a doeling. We won't know. Not until I can get a good look underneath its tail. Looks like it's going to be black with some white on his head. Its ears kind of looks like they're kind of gray. So it looks like Sifu produces a lot of gray color and blacks. Looks like he produces a lot of blacks and grays. This is the so we had 2 bucklings born from bred last season. And both of those babies were black and white, but bred's white. And then Brownie had a little baby that looked like Brownie that we had named Fudge. And unfortunately, Fudge, when she was about, I don't know, right, her horns were probably about 2.5 inches long, and she stuck her head through the fence and got her head stuck, and it was overnight. And by the time I had found her the next morning, she was gone. And so unfortunately we lost her. And the little bucklings that that Bread had, we sold them as bottle babies because Bread rejected them and wouldn't take care of either one of them. So I ended up selling them as bottle babies when they were about a week and a half, 2 weeks old. So those are the only other babies we've had here, and I didn't get to see any of them be born either. So there's that. But this one looks really cute. So it's very, very cold. They're all cute though, other babies. Maybe has blue eyes like Mama. Cinnamon has the most beautiful blue eyes, and so far I don't think any of the babies that we have born have blue eyes. So looks like this one might have blue eyes, maybe. Looks like it, and it's black, so that would be awesome if it had blue eyes. All right, everybody. So baby has stood up for a second. But now she's, or he, I don't know, I haven't looked at, up on the front legs. But it was up. I don't know what it is yet. But baby was up on all 4 legs for a few seconds and then sat back down on his butt. But is gonna probably be making the attempt to stand. Oh, we got 3 legs. Little tail wag. Oh, no, we got it. All 4 legs. Baby is up. Can't get a look underneath its tail yet. It's not at the right angle, so I can't see. I think it's buckling. I think I gotta look. I think it's buckling. I didn't see a slit, so I think buckling. Definitely think buckling. So it looks like we have at least 3 bucklings, which will be good. They'll have somebody to play with because I've pulled them from their mamas at about 8 weeks. So that way nobody can accidentally breed mamas or sisters. So that means they'll have plenty of playmates. Yep, definitely I think is buckling. I'll try to get a better look, a closer look here in a little bit. My eyesight's not the best, and I'm just far enough away. There's a little bit of a blur, but with the doelings, I could see a slit and some pink, even on like Cookie and the other little dark one, black one that we have. So I think probably definitely a buckling. But we'll see again here in a little bit. And we still haven't made any moves to having a second baby be born yet. Hopefully Cookie's not going to get over there in that back corner because there's no room really over there. But if she does, I'll just move them. We'll see. All right, I thought I'd give you a close-up view of the little buckling. Still pretty sure it's buckling. I haven't got another super close look, but I think it's buckling. Definitely looks like he has blue eyes. He's standing. He has eaten. I'm trying not to show the back end of Cinnamon because it's a little on the gross side. If he lifts his tail, he's close enough to me now, I'll be able to see him. But he's doing really well. He's nursed a little bit. He's standing up. He's moving around. She's still working on cleaning and drying him, but he's up. Look at the blue eye. And he's all black except for some brown on his face and some white and then gray. I don't know if that gray will spread a little bit. It's really awesome if that gray spreads a little bit. Looks like he has some brown on his front legs with the white. Like his front legs look more, they're more Cinnamon's color. See, she's this kind of brown color. And that's what it looks like on his face, and like maybe under his chin, and then on top of his head and his ears are kind of this gray white, and then he has some gray in the rest of his fur. She's tried to lay down a few times to have another one. I'm getting ready to bump her to make sure that she does still have another one in there. I feel like she does because she's still pawing and stuff. She doesn't have another sac coming out of her. It's afterbirth is what's coming out of her right now. But she has but she's still doing all this pawing and stuff. I feel like she's got to have another one in there. She was too big. And he's a good sized baby, but I mean, he's not as big as Bean was, and she was a single. I mean, and with as big as Cinnamon was, I feel like Cinnamon's got to have at least one more kid in there. So I'm gonna bump her. The way you bump her is you stand behind her and you take your hand down here, both hands, and you kind of just pull up on her belly, and then you let go, and you're trying to feel for like a hard bump. It's for something hard, for it to feel like it hits back at your hand and it's hard, and that's supposed to be a baby. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bump her. I can't bump her and videotape it, so I'm just gonna do another little update. He looks really good. Cinnamon's doing really good. She seems to be an excellent mama, but it definitely looks like we're gonna have 3 little bucklings for sale. So I'm gonna bump her, and then we'll come back if there's anything else progressing. Okay, so it's been like an hour. She kept laying down and getting up and laying down and pawing and doing stuff like that. And I decided that if she had another kid in there, it should have been coming out by now. I felt like she was maybe getting distracted, but I decided I was gonna bump her, and so I bumped her, and I felt like I felt something in there, and that was what was on the last little update, was where I bumped her, and I felt like I definitely felt something, which felt different than what I felt with the other does. So the other does, when I bumped them, it just felt squishy, and this time when I bumped, it felt like there was something that bumped back against my hand. But then it's been an hour and still nothing. She hadn't produced any more sac, and what was hanging out of her looked like afterbirth. So I decided that I would go wash it. I made her some warm molasses water to drink because that helps give them some energy. And then I went in and I washed up and got some gloves and some lube, and I went in and felt, and I don't feel anything inside her. I just feel like it just feels all soft and squishy. I don't feel anything hard in there. I don't feel another sac in there. I don't feel anything in there. And so then I bumped her again afterwards, and when I bumped her afterwards, I didn't have that same thing that bumped back against my hand, so it didn't necessarily feel squishy like the other does did, but it didn't feel hard either. So like I said, this is the first time I've been here for one of these births, and was actually here for the whole thing. So I'm not really sure. I feel like the baby's tiny for her size, but I do know this group eats pretty well, and so they might just be a little fat, because that big rounded thing on her left side would be where her stomach's at, and you can see it's like, I don't know, she looks a little golden to me. But the other side still looks pretty fat. So I'm thinking we're probably done, and that will be a successful kidding season. That's all the does I have going to be having babies this year. Well, not this year, but I'll have the whole other group of does will be having babies anytime from the end of July to to the end of August, like the 31st of July till right now towards the end of August. I'm probably going to keep this little guy in here with and keep all of these does in here at least for a week until this little guy is at least a week old and doing well, and then I'm going to pull Sifu out from the other does, bring him back over here with Charming, and all of these does and their babies will go out into the big pen with all the other does. In the other pen we have Brownie, who has had babies before. We have Bread, who has had babies before. And then I don't think anybody else has had babies over there. I think those are the only two over there who have had babies before. Bread and Brownie both had babies in the fall. And so they skipped this breeding. They didn't get bred in the fall. And so they won't get bred again until the fall. So it's like an entire year before they'll get bred. And that'll be the same with these does. So they'll miss this spring breeding. They won't breed again until I'll breed them in the fall. But then all of the other does will then be having their babies in the fall. So then they won't get bred until the spring. But yeah, successful kidding season. So we have Cinnamon with her last baby being born on whatever today is. I don't know what the date is. Sometime at the end of March. The 1st is Friday, so I don't know. I think Friday was the 25th. 28th? I think it's the 28th. I don't know what day it is anymore. Everything runs together. And then we had Silver Fox's babies, and they were born last week. Then we have Licorice's, I don't know where Licorice's little boys, oh, Licorice's baby is there. Cookie is in the house still warming up. I'm getting ready to go see if she's warmed up and ready to have a bottle. So then that would be Licorice, and her babies are 2 weeks old. And then Coco, who has Bean, which, oh, Bean, who is about 3 weeks old. So successful kidding season. We're all done. And hopefully everybody will be good, and we'll have 3 bucklings for sale.